What about you, teacher?
Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Yes, I'm good too, Alhamdulillah. Okay, so before we start with today's topic, let's do a bit of recap of what we did last lesson. We did the Irab of the ism. So before that, we did Mabni and Mu'rab, right? Can you tell me what is Mabni again?
Mabni is fixed.
Good.
Yeah, fixed means
Yes, fixed means the word will always be like that, right?
Mm.
Can you tell me some of the Mabni categories?
Some of the Mabni categories.
Yeah, some of the words that are Mabni.
What's the Mabni?
I give you example, pronouns, domir, like huwa will always be huwa, right? Anta will always be anta.
What
Others?
about what is it called? Alladhi.
Yes, correct. That
Alladhi.
is a
Yeah.
mausul. Good. Some more?
Yeah. Uh,
You can give me examples like just now also can.
okay.
What about like ma and man? You always see ma and man is always like that, right?
Yeah.
What kind of words what kind of word are those?
Question.
Yes, questions also. Yes, ma man also can be questions. Also
Yes.
can be conditional. Okay, so like if then, something like that. Okay, good. And what is the default sign of a rafa word?
Default sign of a rafa word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One second.
Okay.
All right. Sorry.
Yes. What's the default sign of a rafa word?
Default sign is dhammah,
Good. What about nasab?
fathah,
What about jar?
kasrah.
Good. And if we see a word that does not have a default sign, what term do we use after that? Like we see mu'minuna, it will be marfu bil waw. And then after that we say what?
Marfu bil waw, niyabatan,
Yes.
mu'minuna.
Correct. Yes. Niabatan is correct.
Niyabatan.
That's the answer that I want to look for. Yes. So whenever you have not the default sign, we use the term niabatan and then followed by what always? Niabatan anil what?
Dhammah or kasrah or fathah.
Yes, depending on the status that you are working on. So if it's marfu, you have dhamma. So niabatan an will always come with the default sign of the whatever status that you're doing. Good. And then after that we say li'annahu.
Ya, annahu either
If
for
if muslimuna we say what kind of word is
jamak
that?
muzakkar salim.
Exactly. And if it's a dual word, muslimani, we say what is dual in Arabic?
Dual musanna.
Yes, exactly. So we say li'annahu jamak muzakkar
Ya,
salim or li'annahu musanna, like that. Okay?
annahu. Okay.
Yes, good. Okay. So today we're going to do mamnuu min as-Sarf. So mamnuu means prevented from change. Okay, so prevented from change. So this is basically like a branch of mu'rab words. Okay, your Muslim chart, or you can see from the rafa to the nasab to the jar, they change, right? So this one is prevented a bit from changing. Okay, so there are two restrictions for this kind of word. One is they cannot take tanween. One is they cannot take a kasrah. They will never have kasrah. And kasrah is always the default sign of?
Jar.
Exactly. Okay, so because of that, there will be a rafa version of the word, and then the nasab and jar will be the same because the word cannot take kasrah. Okay,
All right.
so there are these kind of words, they either have one reason or two reasons for not being mu'rab. Okay, so if you see a word, okay, and they are in the pattern of mafa'ilu or mafa'ilu, okay, and it doesn't have to be as in meme, it can be any letter, can be noon here, can be hamzah, can be anything. Okay, so as long it has the pattern of like mafa'ilu and mafa'il. Okay, there's an
So,
alif in the middle somewhere, and then in the second pattern there's an extra ya in the middle. Okay, so for the word for the pattern of mafa'ilu, we have the example masajidu. Okay, so if you can remember this word masajidu, then every time you see a word that sounds like this, nawafilu, awamiru, okay, then these are all going to be the pattern of super plural. These are plurals, okay, and not just any plural, but the highest number of plural, okay, and they cannot take a tanwin, so that's why I wrote them without tanwin. Okay, so means the rafa version is masajidu, the nasab version will be
masajidu, the nasab version will be masajidu.
nasab, nasab fathah.
Masajida.
Yes, and then the jar version,
Masajida.
yes, exactly. Okay, and the other pattern mafa'ilu is like in the Quran we have masabihu. Okay, so if you can
Masab.
remember this one, masabihu. We also have this in the Quran, I think maqadiru. Okay,
Alright.
another one is dananiru. Okay, so yes, so if you see this pattern, you know it's going to be mamnu min as-Sarf. Okay, you will never see tanwin on it, and if it's a jar, you never see kasrah. Okay,
Alright.
the second type of word is that it's a word that ends with a feminine long alif. Okay, the Arabic is alif ta'nith mamdudah. So we're talking about long alif, meaning this alif and hamzah at the end. Okay, because when you have alif like this and hamzah at the end, it becomes 4 counts, right? In the Quran, for example, it becomes mat, right? So that's why it is feminine long alif. Okay, it's called mamdudah. So when you have this kind of word, okay, ending with this alif and hamzah, then it's also mamnu min as-Sarf. And another kind is alif maksurah. Okay, whether the maksura is like look like ya, as we know, we call this alif maksura. There's the
Yes.
standing alif. This is also alif maksura. Okay, so whether it's the standing alif or whether it's the alif maksura like ya with no dots, okay, then it's going to be feminine. Both are feminine. Okay, both are feminine, and both are going to be mamnu min as-Sarf. Okay.
Alright.
Yes. So here it's afro'u, afro'a, afro'a, right?
Yeah.
This one, okay, the word in the rafa, the nasab and jar will always be the same anyway because they have an alif at the end, right? It's like Musa, for example, right? You cannot have Musu, right? So there's two things going on here. Okay. One thing is the rafa, nasab and jar. It's all going to be the same anyway, will look the same. But on top of that, this kind of word cannot put a tanwin on it. Okay?
Yes.
For example, another example is hudan. Okay, the word hudan in the Quran, it looks like this, right? Alif ending, alif maksura ending,
Yeah.
but it has a tanwin. It can have a tanwin. So this is not mamnu min as-Sarf, but this is. What's the difference?
The tanwin.
Other than that, why can this one, why can hudan have a tanwin but not lailan? Laila, yeah. Why not lailan? Why not dhikron with a tanween? The difference is that you see the alif maksura at the word dhikra, right? You see 3 letters before it.
Yeah, okay.
Laila also, lam ya lam, 3 letters before it. Dunya also 3 letters before it, right? So the word hudan, how many you see before the alif?
2.
2 only. Okay. So this tells you that this alif is actually part of the root letter. So that's why it's not counted as this. So this one, okay, for it to be a feminine kind of alif maksura, there is at least 3 letters before it. Okay. If there's only
Right.
2, then high chance it's not feminine and not mamnun min as-Sarf. So although it also will always be hudan, 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 there's no hudun for this, but it can take tanwin. It's not like this. This one cannot take tanwin. This is mamnun min as-Sarf. This one is not. Okay.
All right.
So for now, you just try to remember this. But later on, when we do surf, all that, it will become clearer and you will click. Okay. Same thing for the mamduda. Okay, same thing for the mamduda. You see there are 3 letters before it, right? Sin, mim, ro. Ain, fa, ro. But the example I have here, binaan, right? Don't talk about the alif, right? So there's bim, ba, and nun only, right? So again, this hamza is actually part of a root letter, or rather it's actually replacing a root letter, which we will learn later. Okay, so that's why this one can take tanwin. This one is not mamnun min as-Sarf, it's not feminine. Okay, only these 2 are. Okay,
All right.
so that are 2 kinds of words that have one reason. Okay, now we move on to the kind of words that have 2 reasons that to make it mamnun min as-Sarf. We take first about names. Okay, so if you have a name of a person or a country or any kind of name, okay, a proper name, that is the not all names are going to be mamnun min as-Sarf, okay, but if they have any of these one, okay, any of one of these points, then it's going to be mamnun min as-Sarf. Okay, so the first reason will be that it's a name. The second reason is that if the nouns pattern, if the pattern is similar to a verb. So later on, when we learn more verbs, then you can see more pattern. Okay, so for example, right now, the name Yazid, okay, it actually looks like fi'il mudhari, Yazidu. Okay,
Yeah.
there is even a fi'il mudhari like this actually, Yazidu. Okay, so anytime a noun, the pattern is similar to a verb, then it cannot take tanwin. Okay, it cannot be. So it's going to be Yazidu, Yazida, Yazida. Don't have Yazidi. Okay.
All right.
Another one, if it's a non-Arab name that has more than 3 letters. Okay, so in the Quran we have a lot. Okay, most of the names of the prophets, the angels, all that is actually non-Arab names. Okay, although to us, right, it seems like we name our family members, our children, like Ibrahim, Musa, all that, because it's in the Quran, it's Arabic. We think it's an Arabic name, right? It is basically, it became kind of Arabic names, but they are actually non-Arabic, okay, in the beginning. So that's why, like, even in other faiths, right, they have similar names, but it's a bit different. Like Ibrahim, they say Abraham, right? Because it's actually from another language. So even the Abraham one, I think is like the Latinized version of the original. Okay. Same thing for Jibril, right? Gabriel is all Latinized version of the original name. Okay.
All right.
So yes, so most names in the Quran is going to fall under this category, Ibrahim. Okay, so non-Arab name. Other names that are ending with alif nun. Okay, so Sulaiman is an example. Okay, so this one actually the word Sulaiman basically is like falls under two categories. It's also a non-Arab name, okay? But the stronger reason for it to become Mamnoo min as-Sarf is because there's an alif nun at the end, okay?
Correct. Okay.
Another one is if the noun pattern is more than 3 letters and is in a feminine form. So, Tolha. Why do they say this word has a feminine form? What is feminine about it?
The marbuta.
Exactly. Okay. We associate tamarbuta with feminine, right? So
Mm-hmm.
even for the name Tolha, okay, then it's gonna be Mamnoo min as-Sarf. So basically, all feminine names, okay, all feminine names like Fatima, my name, Adila, all feminine names will be Mamnoo min as-Sarf. Unless the feminine name is only 3 letters. So the most famous example in the Arabic literature is Hindun. Okay, Hindun is the name of the famous Hindun that we know is Abu Sufyan's wife. Do you know Abu Sufyan? One of the
Yeah.
companions. Yeah,
Yes.
his wife. The name is Hindun. Okay.
Hindun.
Yes, Ha Nun Dal. Okay, so
Mm.
her name is can have a tanwin because it's
Mm.
only 3 letters. It's not more than 3 letters. Okay. Same thing for uh the Prophet Lut. Lut alaihi salam. Luton in the Quran. Right? Lam waw to. You have Lutun, Luton, Lutin because it is a non-Arab name, but
Yes.
it's not more than 3 letters, you see? So when
Yeah.
it's only 3 letters, then it's not gonna be Mamnoo min as-Sarf. Okay?
Also, like Prophet Nuh juga sama.
Yes, correct. No, also the same. Hud also the same. Okay,
Alright.
very good. And then if you have the pattern is in the form of fu'al. Okay, so famous example would be Omar. Okay, Omar will be, yes, so not many names are in this category. The most famous one is Omar. Okay, so if you can remember Omar's name, whenever you find any name that has this kind of pattern, that it is going to be Mamnoo min as-Sarf. Okay, so even though this maybe is an Arab name, Omar, okay, maybe it's an Arab, I'm not sure whether it's actually Arabic or not, but because of this pattern, it becomes Mamnoo min as-Sarf. Okay,
Alright.
and lastly, if the name is actually made up from 2 words together. Okay, so for example, this is the name of a place in Yemen, Hadramaut. Okay,
Hadramaut.
Hadramaut. This is from Hadar and Maut. Maut is death. Hadar is to be present. So basically, death is present. Hadramaut. Okay, they put 2 names together, basically two isms together, 2 words together, and then it becomes a name. Okay, there are other examples, but they are not very popular, like Hadramaut, like we all know. So I didn't put those kind of examples. Okay, so yeah, so basically, if you have names, they must be either one of these points, then you make it Mamnoo min as-Sarf. If not, it can have tanwin. So for example, like Muhammadun, you can have a tanwin there. Okay, because it doesn't apply into any of these points. Understand? So
Yeah.
if names must have 2 reasons. One is it's a name. Second reason is any of these 6 possibilities. Understand? The last one is also nouns with 2 reasons. This time we're talking about words that are description. Okay, so one is they are description. That's the first reason. Second reason is any of these patterns. Okay, so the first pattern is fa'lan, or the feminine version is fa'la. Okay, so here we have an example, atoshan, and the feminine version is atosha. Okay, if you have this pattern, so again, alif nun ending, so you can try to remember that, although it's not a name, right? But you have alif nun, then it's going to be Mamnoo min as-Sarf. Okay, again,
Alright.
this one is feminine ending, right? like
Uh-huh.
just now. So that's why it's also mamnu min as-Sarf. Okay, so easy. Although this is like this word is in a different category, like there's two reasons for it, but
Uh-huh.
actually when you see the pattern itself, it's
Uh-huh.
basically like what we've done all the rest before this. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And the next one is if it's in the pattern of af'al. So you know this, I think we've seen this quite a lot actually. For example, akbar, Allahu akbar.
Akbar. Uh-huh.
Yes, okay. So abkam, right? Raj, easy to remember. Abyad, aswad. Aswad means
Aswad is black.
exactly. Okay.
Mhm.
So very easy to remember this. This pattern usually used with colors,
Mhm.
and also comparative, like Allahu Akbar is greater. Okay.
Mhm.
And
Later, yeah.
also defects. So like Abakam is to be deaf.
Mhm.
Yes, okay. So yes, so this pattern is actually also name also can fall into this pattern actually. For
Mhm.
example, Ahmad also this pattern. Okay, this
Ma-
pattern actually also look like a fi'il. Fi'il also looks like this, so that's why
yes.
it's very consistent. Whether it's a name, whether it's a description, it will not have a tanwin. Okay.
Mhm. All right.
Next one, pattern of fu'alu or maf'alu. Okay, so this one usually happens with numbers. So mauhad from ahada, from one, from
Mhm.
wahid. Okay,
Mhm.
ahadu. Okay, this one not many, so don't have to worry so much about this. And last
Mhm.
one again is basically pattern like Umar, right? Fu'al.
Fu'al. Fu'al.
Yes, like Umar, same thing. So, but this one is not a name.
Mhm.
This is a description. Ohar means other, basically. Okay.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
so yes. So that is all about mamnu min nasaf. These are the kinds of words that will never take a tanwin, never take a kasrah. Okay. So
Mhm.
try to remember these patterns. Okay.
Mhm.
Inshallah, when we do a lot of exercise, so you will see. So whenever you have a word that has no tanwin, that time we learn about absolute no, right? La plus a like ism. So la ilaha, right? La
Mhm.
ikraha. Okay, that's the
Mhm.
first reason for it to be liked.
Mhm.
The second reason for it to be liked is this mamnu min as-Sarf. Okay. So about the i'rab, if
Mhm.
it is in Rafa version, then you
Mhm.
say as per normal, marfu bil,
مرفوع بالضمة
exactly. If it's nasr,
بالفتحة
mansub bil fathah. If it's jar, what do you see at the jar?
فتحة also
Yes, okay. So when we do i'rab for the jar, we say
Mhm.
majrur bil
مجرور
fathah,
بالفتحة
okay? But it's not the default sign. So we
نيابة عن الكسرة
exactly. And then the anahu, what kind of word?
ممنوع من الصرف
Exactly. Easy?
يعني إن شاء الله
Good, Alhamdulillah. Okay. And the last thing is there's only two places where it can take kasrah. Okay.
مم.
When it is a mudaf, which we will learn later. What is mudaf? Although I know you know. Okay. Mudaf,
Mhm.
it can be kasrah. So here we have bi ahsana, but here we have fi ahsani because here is a mudaf. Here it's not. Okay,
Mhm.
so here can be kasrah.
آه.
Same word ahsana, but here ahsani, but because this is a mudaf.
Mhm.
And next one, if you have al, okay, so fil masajidi, you have al, you can take kasrah. Okay, never tanwin, so this one still not ahsanin, never tanwin, kasrah only can. Okay, but when it's a mudaf or when it has al. Okay, clear?
Mhm.
So, for
Okay.
example, I'll give you an example that you know. Uh, the name of Allah,
Mhm.
Ar-Rahman. Okay,
الرحمن Mhm.
Rahman ends with Alif Nun. Okay,
Mhm.
because we always see it with Alif Lam. Okay, like Bismillahirrahman. We can put kasrah there. Okay,
Mm.
because there's alif lam. Understand?
Mm, understood.
Okay. Okay. Time for exercise, inshallah.
Mhm.
Now give the reason, whether one or two.
Mhm.
Akbar. Easy.
Akbar,
Mm.
because of
It,
the pattern.
mm-hmm. Is it
Uh,
one reason or two reason in the first place?
one reason or two reason.
One
Because the
reason.
pattern of al, okay, and then
Mm-hmm. That's
um
correct. That's actually reason number two. What's the reason number one? Is it a name or a description?
description.
Exactly. Okay.
Mhm.
So reason number one is it's a description. Reason number
Mhm.
two is it's in the pattern
Also,
of af'al. Okay.
af'al, yes. Mhm.
Good. Next one, asawiro.
Asawira.
Hmm.
Mm, Asawira.
Think
So
about
it's
the
not
pattern.
description.
Yes.
It's not description, so only one reason.
Yes.
Asawira. Mm,
In the pattern that is, I mean, in the words that only take one reason. What are the patterns? Remember,
Asawira.
if the word only have one reason, you only have four patterns that you have to remember. Masajidu,
Masajid.
masobihu, and then the alif ending, right? And alif
Mhm.
maksura ending. Okay,
Alright.
so this is the one reason. Okay,
Mhm.
means that is either these patterns are super plural. These patterns is feminine alif. Okay, so
Alif.
asawiro is which one? Is it super plural pattern or feminine alif patterns?
Asawira. Oh, okay. I remember now. Asawira.
Hmm.
Masajid. Asawira. Is it feminine long alif?
Okay, no. What's the
No.
pattern that you can put together that is the same as this? Does it
Mm,
feminine long alif is like
uh,
hamro that is feminine.
Anamiru is super plural. Asawira.
Yes, like masajidu.
Masajidu. Oh, the end letter doesn't have to be fathah as well.
The end can be dhamma or fathah, right?
Okay, alright, yeah.
So this one
Okay.
is taken from the Quran. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In the Quran, it is fathah, the one that I took it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's fathah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, it can be asawiru when it's rafa state.
Mm-hmm.
Understand? So masajidu, that pattern is in the rafa state, but it can be in nasab state. It can be in jar state, right? So
Alright,
you
yeah.
don't think about what's at the end. Okay. So
Okay.
yes, this is your masajid, which is a super plural pattern. Okay.
Super plural. Okay.
Next one, Muawiyah.
Muawiyah. Um, this is only one reason. Muawiyah.
Why one
Mm,
reason?
is it? It's not a description, kan?
Names also need two reason,
Oh.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So if this a name, Muawiyah.
Uh, yes.
Yes, it's a name, right? There's a Sahabat is Abu Sufyan's son. His name is
Mm-hmm.
Muawiyah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason number one is it's a name. Remember,
Mm-hmm.
why is it reason number one? Not all names are mamnu min as-sarf, right? You have
Yes.
Nuhun, you have Muhammadun,
Good.
right? Yeah,
Good.
so
Yes.
not all names. So for names, there must be a second reason, which is
Mm.
whatever the pattern it is, or whatever the reason. So why is this name mamnu min as-sarf?
Oh, is it because ni the tamarbutah
Yes, it's a
uh,
feminine form.
feminine
Good,
form? Yes.
exactly. Next
Mm.
word, bayda'u.
Bayda'u.
Hmm.
Um, Bayda'u. Mm. Hmm. بيضاء.
What does it end with?
Uh, oh, alif and apa? And hamzah.
Yes.
So,
So remember what is it called?
um,
You can say just
alif.
mhm.
Uh, uh,
Mam mamdudah.
mamdudah. Okay.
Yes, it's from the same words as mad. Mad as in
Okay.
panjang mad. Okay. So this is alif mamdudah. So it's only one reason.
One reason. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Next one, ghadban.
Ghadban. No. Okay. The alif noon, right?
Yes, but is it a
Ghadban.
name?
No, it's
It's
not
not a
name.
name. So the other
Uh-huh.
one, is it a description?
Angry, yes, is a
Yes.
description.
So the first one is a description. Second is in the pattern of fa'lan, which yes, alif nun at the end.
Alif noon, yeah, okay.
Okay, good. Next one, jibrila or jibrilu.
Jibril or Jibril.
Hmm.
Um, First description is about the name kan?
Yes,
Apa?
the
And
first reason is a
non-Arab
name.
name.
Yes, second is a
And
non-Arab name. Okay.
second,
First
okay.
reason is a name. Second
Uh-huh.
reason is a
Non-Arab
non-Arab
name.
name, more than three
Three
letters.
letters. Okay.
Understand?
Understood.
Next one, Isa.
Aisa.
Hmm,
First one is also a name.
good.
Is it an Arab name ke?
It's
Mm,
also non-Arab.
non-Arab, right? Okay.
Yes. Okay,
So
so
also the same reason.
yes, again, it's a non-Arab name. So same thing, Musa will also be
Mhm.
name and
Name
non-Arab.
non-Arab
Yes.
with
Okay.
three letters more.
And
Yeah.
again, it's always gonna be Isa, Isa, Isa. You never see Isu, right? So there's two
Mhm.
things going on. So
Yeah.
it cannot take a tanwin. That's the most important
Mhm.
part. Okay, you never see Isan, you never see Musan. Cannot like
Mhm.
Hudan. Okay,
Uh-huh.
next one, Sofra'u.
Safra. Oh, this one is also the Alif and Hamzah.
Good.
One
So,
reason, right?
yes,
So
this
it's
is
called
one
apa?
reason only.
Mam,
Alif. Mam.
Mamdudah.
Yes, good. Next one, Imran.
Imran, a name,
Mm-hmm.
a pattern that ends with Alif Nun.
Very good. Next one, ulama.
Ulama is Alif and Hamzah also one reason.
Yes, exactly. One reason. Okay, so there
Mhm.
are some plurals. Okay, some
Uh-huh.
plural words that end with alif hamza. So,
Mhm.
for example, another one is anbiya.
Anbiya, yes.
Yes, okay. So that one
Mhm.
also will be no, mamnu min as-sarf. Okay.
Alright. Okay.
Next one, thulatha.
Tulasa. Tulasa. Um,
If you cannot,
oh, the
hmm,
pattern apa?
yes.
Um,
One reason or two reason?
is it counted as a description ke three?
Yes. You
Yes,
can say
right.
yes.
So
So
two
this is
reasons.
yes, description and then the pattern of
Uhadu.
exactly fu'alu. Good.
Mu'alu.
Last one, ma'adhiro.
Mu'adira. Um, Mu'adira. So this is hmm.
Does it fit
uh,
masajidu?
Masajidu. Yes.
Not jidu.
Masajidu.
Jidu don't have ya. The other one
Oh.
is masabihu. That one have ya.
So it fits Masabihu.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so
Mhm.
it's one reason or two reason?
One.
Yes, it's a super plural word.
Super
Okay,
plural. Okay.
so Whenever you see a word that has no tanween, you should ask yourself, why is it no tanween? Is it a mamnu min as-sarf word? Okay? Okay? Okay, so
Can.
finish Mamnoo min as-Sarf, alhamdulillah. I think we got time to do a bit of Mausuf Sifat. It's not a very long chapter. Let me start a new recording for that. Give me a second.
Okay.